Good evening. Welcome to the Government News Brief for Thursday, April 20, 2017. In the news this evening, Diamond to get overhead pedestrian crossing, government collaborating to improve elderly care, and new initiatives on stream to boost tourism locally. These and other stories when the news returns. Stay tuned. Thank you for staying with us. I am Renetta LaFleur. Here are the details. Apart from a planned vehicle bypass, Diamond East Bank Demerara will benefit from an overhead pedestrian crossing. Tiffany Rodius has the details.
Last year, the government signaled its intention to construct 3 overhead pedestrian walkways. A planned vehicle bypass for Diamond was also announced. Today, Minister of State Joseph Harmon disclosed that Diamond will also be benefiting from an overhead pedestrian crossing.
You recall that I had previously announced the award of contracts for the construction of overhead crossings at Houston, at Peters Hall, and at Houston, Peters Hall, and Eccles, those 3 areas. This is an additional overhead crossing that's going to be constructed.
The Minister of State says the contract for the Diamond pedestrian crossing has already been awarded and construction will begin soon.
The construction of a pedestrian crossing, a pedestrian overhead crossing at Diamond East Bank Demerara Region 4, the Ministry of Public Infrastructure, a contract in the sum of $364,727 US, and that contract was awarded to S. Jagmohan Hardware Supplies and Construction Services.
Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Public Infrastructure Godfrey Vaughan says the bypasses will enable the elderly and persons with disabilities to use the road safely.
It's a normal design. One is a pedestrian overpass and one is a vehicle overpass. And it's a design where, persons will be able to now not having to interface with the traffic, but they'll now be able to use an overhead walkway, which would basically give them time to get over the road.
These new crossings are part of efforts to enhance traffic and pedestrian management on the busy East Bank Demerara corridor. For the Government News Brief, Tiffany Rogers.
The Ministry of Social Protection has joined with the Ministry of Public Health to formulate a strategic plan to provide a more efficient health care service to the elderly population. Delicia Haynes tells us more.
The health and well-being of senior citizens continue to take center stage as the Ministries of Public Health and Social Protection are developing a plan which would govern the management and care for the elderly. The plan will take into consideration a number of measures including the training of staff and improvement of infrastructure and other services to enhance the requisite care provided. Consultant to the Ministry of Public Health and Elderly Care, Dr. Pedro Pons, explains.
All the country need to have a special program for healthcare of the elderly, mainly in these days where the population, the elderly population has been growing. In our case, we don't have a specific implementation program yet, and it is necessary to start with something. The intention of the Ministry of Health and Social Protection, even with the support of Pan American Health Organization Office, is to try to see how would be an increased program for better health in general, but specifically in health of the elderly. That is crucial.
The Pan American Health Organization, World Health Organization, PAHO WHO, has recently concluded a situation analysis with the Ministry of Public Health. This analysis highlights some loopholes as well as some areas requiring special attention in elderly care.
We also look in terms of training care providers, health professionals, looking as well as the meeting the mental health needs of older people. These are some other areas of priority action. Providing appropriate services for older persons with disabilities, providing care and support for the caregivers, preventing neglect and abuse, which is still very current in the elderly population, looking at violence and also at older people. So we do hope that the interventions that have been mentioned have been taken into account or will be taken into account in the new strategic elderly plan that is being done by the Ministry of Health.
In 2016, the Ministry of Social Protection developed minimum standards for elderly residential facilities. These standards assist persons working in these facilities to improve the quality of care provided to senior citizens. These standards will serve as guidelines ensuring that the best health care for seniors is promoted while continually striving to increase standards.
Over the years, elderly residential facilities have been operating unregulated in absence of guidelines which would have been provided through the development of the minimum standards. In many instances, this has resulted in our seniors being one, housed in derelict structures, subjected to abuse by caregivers, fed meals that do not cater to their dietary or nutritional needs, and deprived of or denied access to medical care.
The collaborative effort between the government ministries and PAHO WHO focuses mainly on the improvement of the self-care ability of senior citizens while encouraging healthy living and strengthening family support. For the Government News Brief, Delicia Haynes.
The Ministry of Business's Department of Tourism is currently working on 3 initiatives to boost tourism locally. Gabriela Patram has the details.
As part of the government's efforts to enhance Guyana's tourism products, the Department of Tourism will be launching in May a staycation concept. Director General of Tourism Donald Sinclair explains that the staycation concept refers to holidays or vacations spent in one's own country. He notes that this concept, which entails more affordable trips to local attractions, will increase business opportunities for local tourism operators as well.
The Department of Tourism is collaborating with the Guyana Tourism Authority and the Tourism and Hospitality Association of Guyana to execute this staycation initiative. It's basically a case where the market is already there, the domestic travelers, Guyanese, we ourselves, the product is already there, local resorts and other attractions. So it's a matter of the industry basically deciding to make the product as attractive as possible for local visitors, of course, local and Caribbean visitors. That is the essence of the staycation.
The department is currently working on the initiative to brand Guyana as the Caribbean's premier Easter destination. Sinclair notes that the Bartica Regatta, Rupununi Rodeo, and the Quarters of Happiness, which stretch from Parika to Jovera Park and Pegasus Hotel to Bedford Wacton and beyond, are tourism products. These advantages, Sinclair says, fits into the initiative.
There is so much family to our Easter celebration. So we want to promote that as this huge family event, this huge, clean family event. That is also an interesting time to display kites, the whole creativity in this kite industry. That is why we're saying that Easter makes possible kite tours. We're famous for kite tour, also for kite tours, in terms of what persons saw over the Easter weekend.
Additionally, the department and other key stakeholders will be meeting to discuss developing the sports tourism policy. The workshop will be held under the theme Improving Sports Through Tourism, Growing Tourism Through Sports. Sinclair made reference to the experience offered when international cricket matches are being played in Guyana. He notes that under other sports, the same experience can be enjoyed.
The aim of that sports tourism workshop is to lay the groundwork, or in order to get inputs for the articulation of a sports tourism policy. Sports tourism policy is one of the policies that the Department of Tourism has set itself the task of articulating. Because we think that Guyana offers enormous benefits in the area of sports tourism, benefits which have not yet been exploited to the fullest.
The Director General emphasizes that the Tourism Department will continue to work with the Guyana Tourism Authority, GTA, and Tourism and Hospitality Association of Guyana, TAG, and other stakeholders to continuously improve the sector. For the Government News Brief, Gabriela Patram.
The Hinterland Employment and Youth Service HAYS program has served as a stepping stone for many of its participants. Isaiah Braffett tells us how.
Several Hayes participants of Como Village Region 9 are now entrepreneurs. This was disclosed by Minister within the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs, Valerie Garrido-Low, who recently visited the village. Using the skills acquired and money saved with an added $50,000 grant, Minister Garrido-Low explains how the youths were able to establish their business.
One young man has a grocery store, and 3 other girls, they have a grocery store with some added, other items on it. Then you have 3 of them went into catering business, Happy Girls Catering, and the fuel outlet. 2 boys went into establishing a fuel outlet, gasoline and so on. And every day they get business because people from Letem sometimes go to Como and purchase their gas from them.
The minister says that she is delighted to know that the Hayes program is creating entrepreneurs as it was aimed.
They have ventured into creating employment for themselves instead of sitting on the sidelines wondering what to do and wondering what the government will do for them and has in store for them, or going across to Brazil, or just staying there with no hope or anything, because you can't say they wouldn't have dreams. You have dreams, but there's no way of making those dreams become reality.
The minister says the program is already showing results almost 1 year after being launched by creating entrepreneurs in communities which lacked jobs.
The Hayes I see after a year, which is next month, almost a year, we're seeing results already. And this is what we want from the youths, because jobs are lacking in the hinterland especially. And what unfortunate also is that skills are lacking, because you can't get a job if you don't have a skill.
The Hayes program is expected to conclude next month and is scheduled to recommence no later than July 2017. The sum of $991 million was allocated for the Hayes program in the 2017 budget to facilitate participation of residents of the remaining 100 communities. Isaiah Braffett, Government News Brief.
The Mabaruma municipality is working to bolster developments in the district despite claims to the contrary. Details in this report.
Deputy Mayor Mabaruma Region 1, Astril Gamil, says the municipality has been accused of not working to develop the district. Gamil explains that though the municipality has experienced some challenges, there were significant improvements in the district and more are forthcoming.
Some of the developments here is that we were able to build a few bus sheds in the different areas so that the school children can benefit from it. The other thing is to our town hall. It's been renovated, and I do hope you get to take a good look at it. It's looking very beautiful. Some persons are saying we not in office, and so in some cases we're now being recognized, and also sometimes they're saying we're now working, but we are working in discreet, and we are working also feverishly to develop our region.
4 bus sheds were constructed in communities in Region 1 at a cost of $600,000 each. The municipality is also working to create a playground in Wanaima. The deputy mayor says these and other developments will soon be realized as the municipality will receive its assets shortly.
We are happy today that the minister had sent a letter to our RDC to hand over all assets from the NDCs to the municipality. We were getting a little runaround, but today I'm happy that we have received all assets to our municipality, so that from now on we can continue developing our areas. That was actually one of the step back for us.
Gamel points out that amidst the challenges, the government has been supporting the municipality continuously. She expresses her gratitude to the government.
I want to thank the government of today for the great assistance that they have given to us, because when we first started off, we started with nothing at all. And it's very challenging when you have to face with people coming to you and asking you all kinds of questions. They want assistance on all these things, and we're not able to answer them properly or immediately.
The Deputy Mayor says hope is not lost for the Mabaruma district. She says the municipality will work speedily to bring about new developments. We have come to the end of today's edition of the Government News Brief. The details of these and other stories can be found on GINA's website. GINA has an active Facebook page, and we encourage you to visit and like us so you can be informed as the news unfolds. Do join us again tomorrow for another edition of the Government News Brief. I am Renetta LaFleur. Have a great evening.